I do crossovers, or marketing for our cars and crossovers. And the team has taken you through all of the attributes that will take the Edge and make what we think is a great vehicle, make it even better. Now what I'm going to tell you is how do we take that to market? And how do we make sure that people will do this? And we really have the opportunity to launch this vehicle as the crossover segment is absolutely booming. In fact, between 2006, when we launched the Edge, in 2009, the segment grew from 4.3% of industry to 9.5% of industry. 220% growth. And this year, in 2010, it will grow another 20%. So it will grow from 9.5% to 11.1% of the total industry. So think about that as a person purchases a vehicle. 1 out of 10 people will purchase a crossover. Now, the growth, we've been going from about 800,000 crossovers a year to over 1 million. So that 200,000 units of growth is actually bigger than the sports car segment in total. And the million units that we expect to sell by the end of the year from a crossover perspective as an industry is as big as the full-size pickup segment. So it is important that Ford has a great product in this segment. Now, you've heard a lot about 400,000. What's important about 400,000 Edges is since we've launched, we have sold more crossovers than any competitor. And believe it or not, Edge is 5 years old. Many of our competitors have freshened. Many of our competitors have brought new entries into the segment. There are 27 competitors now in the crossover segment. And Edge sales are still up 33% this year versus an industry that's up 15%. Edge is a great conquest vehicle for us. So people who buy Edge, half of them, 49%, come from another brand. And once they drive their Edge, when they come back and trade in their Edge, 70% of them stay within the Ford Lincoln Mercury showroom. So Edge is helping us grow share. Now what you don't see on the slide, but is very important to us, is 50% of people that are registered Edge buyers are women. And that is about 18 points higher than the Ford average. So Edge is helping us grow share, it's conquesting, and it's a vehicle that women love to drive. Now Elaine talked to you a little bit about purchase reasons. I'm going to share some data behind those purchase reasons. We look at why people purchase crossovers in general, and then we look at why people purchase Edge. And with 400,000 customers, we have a great relationship with them. We understand why they buy, we understand why they trade in, and we understand when they purchase next. There are 4 areas where Edge over-indexes versus the segment. And what I mean by that, I'll give you an example. Crossover segment, the 5th most important purchase reason is exterior styling at a little over 4%. For Edge, it is the #1 purchase reason at almost 9%. People buy Edge because it looks great, because it's fun to drive, because it's comfortable, and because of all the technology on the vehicle. It's important as we design a vehicle that we maintained our bold design. It's important with our fun to drive, and we can talk to Rich a little bit later, but our 0 to 60 on our V6 is down about 0.8 of a second, and on the Sport, it's down 1.2 seconds versus the outgoing Edge. More fun to drive, more comfortable. Elaine talked to you about the quietness of the vehicle, but also, I think when you experience it today, you'll realize how confident it is to drive. And the ride on these 22s will blow your mind. I know it did mine when I drove it. You think you'd have to give something up to ride on 22s, and we absolutely do not. And last but certainly not least is technology. Edge over-indexes in technology. We launched Sync on Focus and Edge back in 2008, and it is absolutely appropriate that we launch My Ford Touch with the Edge this year. We are adding 17 new technology features to the Edge, and you can see them shown up on the slide. Things like our easy fuel system, blind spot monitoring, HID headlamps, remote start, smart charging, and 11 class exclusives. So features that others in the segment do not offer. In fact, many of these features are not offered on luxury crossovers. My Ford Touch, Sync, adaptive cruise control, sales consultants and our dealers are not only certified on the product, but are also certified on My Ford Touch. We actually started training back in February when we launched the vehicle. We are doing an extensive training program, and we are actually going into 700 of our top selling dealers, and we will be certifying them on Edge and My Ford Touch. And those who we don't travel to will travel to a centralized training, and they will be certified. Now you can see the big lips, the bottom of the slide. That is our print campaign. And as John told you, My Ford Touch is all about keeping your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road. Our print campaign will focus on minimizing driver distraction via voice activation. So it's a little bit hard to see, but on those beautiful lips, and I can tell you they're not anybody's in this room, are all of our voice commands. So many voice commands listed. And then you can see the vehicle follows it up a page later with the voice commands surrounding the vehicle. Our digital launch will be bigger than we have done, I think, in our history. Our digital launch will not only focus on the vehicle, but will also focus on the technology on the vehicle. And it will talk to people in different ways. If you're the type of person who just wants to put a picture on the vehicle and maybe pair your cell phone, there will be an avenue for you. If you are the guy who raises hands every time John asks a question, I have 2 cell phones, a smartphone, and an iPad, there's going to be a path for you where you'll be able to understand everything you want to understand in the system. It's all about simplicity, but making sure we're there for you in a way that's impactful to you. And then our TV launch campaign. That will launch the end of August, early September. And that will focus on My Ford Touch. It will focus on how great the vehicle looks, and it will also focus on fuel economy and our eco route that's delivered via My Ford Touch. On behalf of Frank, Elaine, John, and our entire team here today, we want to thank you for taking the time to come to Nashville and drive Edge. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Alan, and Alan's going to take you through some housekeeping, and we'll get you in cars. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. It's time to get out and drive. And we have a really cool experience, or several experiences for you out on the drive. As you've all, most been through the demo at this point, you've seen our navigation strategy. And I think we're conducting today the first, industry first, and correct me if I'm wrong, because you guys obviously go to other programs like this, but our factory navigation system is actually going to guide you on the drive route today. So you'll get visual and audio prompts, which is very cool. We will also have traditional route cards printed, so if your passenger wants to guide the driver along and just make sure you're going from the right direction, you can do that as well. But the way that we're doing this is through Sync TDI, our turn-by-turn directions. And what we've done is we've programmed the route, and we've already downloaded it into the car. So you just have to jump in and follow the guides out the parking lot, and navigation will pick right up, and it will give you visual and audio prompts, and you'll be able to follow those all the way to the first brake stop point. So what that means is if you look on the screen, the upper photo that has Michigan Avenue mentioned, that is the display that you'll see in the right-hand side cluster next to the speedometer. So that will be your kind of heads-on and heads-up direction. And that screen, you can also change it, as you learned earlier, that can be modified to show your entertainment. So what radio station or song you're listening to, you can switch it to climate control, you can change the temperature using your 5-way button. But you can, if you set it on navigation, it will give you the visual prompt as you see there. You can also set your 8-inch touchscreen to give the navigation guidance. But the key is that you don't have to have the 8-inch touchscreen to have the navigation guidance. You can just have it in your right-hand display, which allows you to really focus straight ahead on the road. Then the bottom image gives you an example of what might happen if you take a wrong turn, or let's say you go down a road to take a photo or shoot a video. You will be technically off the route. So you get the prompt with the question mark, and you will, Sync will say to you, you are off the route, would you like me to update the route? I'm going to ask you to respond by saying no, because what that will do is it'll keep the route programmed in the car. So when you turn back onto the road you were on, the correct road, navigation will pick back up and continue your guidance. So the key is if you say yes, you're going to be rerouted directly to the brake stop point, which means you might miss some of the fun roads that we programmed in. So please, if you go off route, it's fine if you shoot a photo or just pull over a side of the road and stretch your legs. Just say no, and you'll turn back on the route, and navigation will pick up right away. The other thing to notice on the drive route, I think it's around a 50-mile leg. We're asking you guys to do the driver change along the way. And you will see when you're on the Natchez Trace Parkway, beautiful scenery, but you'll see a brake stop, a little turning point with a Ford oval sign on the side of the road. That's an opportunity for you to pull off. It's a little rest area, do a quick driver change point, and then continue on the other half and drive to the brake stop point. So just please, we're going to ask you guys to do that. We're not manning it. It's not programmed into the route either. You have to visually see the turn-off point, but we'll leave it up to you guys to make sure you change drivers along the way. And then when we get to the first brake stop point, as you know, we have the little poker chip run going on to win prizes by Sony and Telenav. At the first brake stop point, we're going to be demoing sync traffic directions information. And you've already obviously seen the navigation capabilities, but we're going to show you the other cool features, such as getting your horoscope. And I know you guys want to know your horoscope for the day. You can check sports scores, you can get movie listings, and then we can even show you the Google Maps and MapQuest send a sync feature. So make sure you get your poker chip there, and Dave and Bridget will be there to show you around as well. The brake stop point is a very cool classic car collection that you'll want to check out. Then the second brake stop point that you will reach is going to be a demo of the Wi-Fi hotspot. So we're going to have two edges that will be plugged in with a mobile broadband card, a USB broadband card, and they'll allow you to walk up and we'll have a couple computers already connected, or if you take your mobile device, your iPad, and you can hook into the Wi-Fi connection. So right in the middle of Tennessee, you're getting a Wi-Fi connection through the My4Touch system. So with that gives you the overview of the drive route. I hope you guys have fun, keep it safe. The last reminder is embargo on driving impressions is Monday. So this coming Monday, the 23rd, 12:01 a.m. So first thing in the morning on Monday. So please refrain from writing about your driving impressions until Monday. But with that, I know the first group that came in can head outside.